Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, from which I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing his work in all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 15, and it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." See, and the Lord, he laid out what blessings and curses. Okay, it says if we would not hearken unto his voice, these curses shall come upon, Israel as a people. Okay, and that's exactly what happened. Okay, as so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans, okay, this would happen to us as a nation, as a people. Why? Because we were rebellious against the Lord. Okay, we didn't keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, we broke his covenant. Let's jump down to verse 45. And it says, "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed." See, and it's obvious, we're a destroyed people. Again, you so-called Negro, so-called Hispanics, and your so-called Native Americans. You just look around, at the condition, that our people living in the barrios, in the hoods, okay, the projects, the reservations. I mean, it's clear indication of who the people are. Look, it says, "Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee." Look, verse 46, it says, "And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." See, again, this is a clear indication of which people this is talking about. This is only talking about one set of people. Okay, those that are in the low conditions. Okay, in this so-called world. Okay, those who don't have riches. Okay, those that as a people, because obviously you got so-called celebrities, athletes. Maybe different people that have some success in this world. But as the scripture says, they've already received the consolation. Okay, but as a whole, as a people, okay, the so-called Negro, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native American, we're at the bottom. Okay, and again, that goes back to these curses. And again, right here it says, "And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." See, and this is how you know what people this is talking about. Okay, this is only talking to one set of people. I'm gonna jump down to verse 64, and it says, "And the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of heaven even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." See, and that's now you got the Christians saying, well, if you're Israelites, okay, and you've been scattered, among all people, okay, and from one end of heaven to the other, then how come the 12 tribes chart or sign, okay, that you guys use, okay, why is that only for a certain area, okay, for a certain region, okay, which is mainly what North America, right, the Western Hemisphere, okay, because that's mainly what it covers, the United States and South America, okay, they don't understand why it only covers a certain area of land, okay, which only includes a certain people. Okay, if Israel is scattered throughout the whole world, then why aren't there certain places that are throughout the world not included in the sign? Well, the thing is that the Lord made it okay, he was going to send his people to a certain area, okay, where the biggest deliverance was going to come out of, okay, and then also what the truth has come out of America, okay, the truth has come out of America. The prophets have been raised up in America, Babylon the Great, okay. You also have prophets throughout the whole world, okay, scattered, okay, but the majority of the prophets, okay, are here in AK America, okay, and also the biggest deliverance is going to be in AK America, okay. Now, just because, like, if you take, for instance, Issachar, just because it says Mexicans, that doesn't mean that every Mexican is Issachar, okay, or if a person lives in Mexico, that he's automatically Issachar. No, it doesn't mean that. See, that they don't understand what, they don't truly get it. They don't get it. They don't understand that Israel is a scattered people, okay? And, everybody has been mixed everywhere, okay? So you can have Issachar in Africa, you can have Issachar in Europe, you can have Issachar, wherever, okay? And the same goes for all the tribes, okay? You got these devils, Vocab Malone, okay, and these other, Christian, apologists, and these other Christian, church leaders or so-called church leaders, okay, they're coming heavy upon, the Israelites, because they have no understanding. But really, it wasn't meant for them to understand. Okay, it's not meant for them to understand. Okay, that's why they're lost. Okay, and they're sitting there, trying to figure out, who's Israel, who's not Israel. They're trying to count. There's so many here and so many there. No, you're never going to count all Israel. Okay, you're never going to count all Israel. Israel is like the sand of the seas. All right. So, but again, they don't have a true understanding. Okay, that the Lord has it set up a specific way. Okay, that the biggest deliverance was going to come from the north. Okay, from the land of the north. Okay, from the Western Hemisphere. Okay, and also that the truth was going to come out of AK America, Babylon the Great. Okay, beginning when after the that 350 years, okay, of captivity, okay, of mental captivity, not knowing who we were as a people. Okay, going to Revelation 11, the 11th chapter, Lord willing, we'll get to that. But that's all it is. These devils, again, they have no understanding. But the biggest deliverance is going to come out of where? Babylon the Great, AK America. Let's get that. Let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 4 and verse 10. And it says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. It says, like a woman in travail, for thou shalt go forth out of the city. Okay, that happened during the time of the siege of Jerusalem, right? By the Romans, 70 AD. It says, and thou shalt dwell in the field. Okay, we know that sometimes the field represents the world. Okay, but in this case, it's talking about Africa. All right, but Israelites were also they migrated. They were also dispersed. Okay, to different parts of the world, but the majority, okay, of this is talking mainly of the southern tribe. Why? Because the northern tribe was already here in AK America, okay, coming to Arsareth, okay, a land where no one has ever dwelt, right? Okay, according to what? 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. All right, when the northern tribe fled from the Assyrian captivity, okay, it says. And thou shalt dwell in the field. Again, that was speaking about Africa. And thou shalt go even to Babylon. See, there shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. See, and that's just the way the Lord set it up. He set up the northern tribe, okay, to come here to the to the north, to the land of the north first, okay, the Western Hemisphere, okay. And then he had the southern tribe come, during the slave trade. Okay, that's just how the Lord set it up. But we know that that Israel is going to be gathered, okay, from the four winds, right? Let's get that. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and we'll start off in verse 30. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. See, and all the tribes are going to be mourning. Why? Because the destruction is going to be coming, right? The Lord's coming in his great glory, okay, with the chariots. Okay, at the same time, there's going to be destruction. Verse 31, it says, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. See? So we know Israel is scattered throughout the whole world. It says from one end of heaven to the other. Again, but the biggest deliverance is going to come out of Babylon the Great. We just read that. Okay, that's where the biggest deliverance is going to come out of. So there's no way to say, Issachar or Judah or whatever nation, okay, whatever nation, according to the 12 tribe, sign, okay, it's just in one area. No, Israel is scattered all over the world, okay? And like, say, let's take Judah, for instance. If Judah, you have Judah in America, you have Judah in Canada, you have Judah in Europe. Judah's everywhere. Okay, there's no, especially when, during the time of, World War II, okay, even in other times, just in the military, let's just use the military as an example. Whenever you see, and it doesn't have to just be Judah, it could be Issachar, it could be Ephraim, it doesn't matter, any tribe. Okay, they go down there, okay, to another foreign land, okay, and they lay their seed, okay, even though the woman was a heathen woman, okay, that seed, okay, from the Israelite man, okay, that child is now an Israelite. Okay, so there's no way to count who's where and this, you got this many here and this many. No, there's no way to count that. Okay, but these devils, they're trying to do that. Why? Because they're afraid. Okay, they're afraid, and they're trying to put doubt in the minds of you Israelites. Again, you so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and you so-called Native Americans. They're trying to sow doubt in your minds. Okay, that you're not the people. No, you are the people. Okay, you are the people. All right, let's go ahead and go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29 and verse 11. And it says, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Verse 12, then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. Isn't that happening now? Okay, yeah, this happened back then, okay, but there's nothing new under the sun, right? So isn't that happening? You got the men of the Lord sighing and crying for the abominations done in the midst thereof? Look, verse 13, it says, and ye shall seek me and find me, and ye shall search for me with all your heart, meaning with all our minds. Okay, and that's happening. You have men of the Lord that are doing this. Okay, you have men, women, children waking up to this truth. Look, verse 14, it says, and I will be found of you, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you. See, well, you're not going to argue with that. Israel's not scattered throughout the whole world. Of course they've been scattered everywhere. But what do we start off with? Okay, the biggest deliverance is going to be out of Babylon. America, Babylon the Great, okay, a.k.a. America. Look, it says, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, and I will bring you again into the place where I had caused you to be carried away captive. Okay, see, and that's coming. Okay, that's something that we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to being gathered, okay, and taken back to our homeland. Okay, but we know that prophecies gotta come forth. Okay, things gotta happen. Okay, the famine of the word, Jacob's trouble. Okay, World War III. Okay, the implementation of making this charagma. Okay, the microchip mandatory. We know all these things gotta come. Okay, but we're looking for what to being gathered. By being taken up in those chariots. Okay, and being delivered. See, it's already written that that's going to happen. And again, we know it's going to happen throughout the whole world. Okay, we just read that. Okay, the Lord said his angels are going to gather the elect from the four winds. Look, verse 15, it says, because he has said, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai had raised up us prophets in Babylon. Let me read that again. Because he has said, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai has raised us up prophets in Babylon. See, and we know there was prophets in the Neo-Babylonian captivity. Okay, we know that. Okay, but again, there's nothing new under the sun. But the prophets are raised up again in the spiritual Babylon. Okay, you see the men of the Lord springing forth. Let's get that. Let's go to actually, you know what? I'm gonna get this real quick, because there's nothing new under the sun. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and I'm gonna start off verse 9. It says, "The thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." See? So again, the prophets have been raised up in Babylon. Look, verse 10, it says, "Is there anything thereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old time, which was before us." See, so we know that, yeah, that happened back then. Okay, but now you have the prophets raised up again, sighing and crying for the abominations done in the midst thereof. Okay, crying out to the Lord, and then what? Let's go to the book of, this is what I wanted to get. Isaiah chapter 44. Let me see. I'm going to start off in verse, I'm going to start off verse 1. I'm going to start off at the top. It says, "Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen." You hear that? It says, Jacob, my servant. So who can serve the Lord, okay, in his ministry? Only Jacob, okay? That's Israel. See? And Israel, whom I have chosen. The Lord only chose Israel to himself as a special possession. Okay, the inheritance of the Lord is Israel. Okay? Verse 2 says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, that made thee, that formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant." Again, who can be the true ministers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai? Jacob. It says, "Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen." Jeshurun just means what? Upright ones. Okay? Why? Because Israel is the only nation, okay, that's being called the elect people of the Lord. Okay? Yeah, you have an elect of the elect. Okay, what's that? Galatians 6 and 16. Okay, the Israel of the Most High. We know that. Okay, but still, as a nation, Israel is the elect nation. Okay, no other nation, okay, is ever mentioned as being, part of the elect. Verse 3, here's the point I wanted, though. It says, "For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thy offspring." See, and that's happening now. Okay, it's been happening. Okay, that water represents what is truth, the living water. Look, verse 4, it says, "And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water courses." See, and that's the Israelites waking up, okay? It says, "One shall say, I am the Lord's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob." See, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing these men, okay, women, children, okay, waking up and saying what? They're Israelites. Look, "And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, and surname himself by the name of Israel." Okay, giving himself an Israelite name. Okay, and man, that's happening. There's no way that can be denied. So again, the prophets have been raised up in Babylon again. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 17. I'm going to start off at the top, and it says, "And there came one of the 7 angels who had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." See, that great whore is talking about A.K. America, okay, Babylon the Great. Verse 2, with whom the kings of the earth had committed fornication, says, "And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication." Okay, then all these nations, they've been made drunk by the philosophies of America. Okay, that funky wine. Okay, the democracy, which leads into feminism. Okay, these nations have been made drunk. Okay, from all the philosophies of America. Okay. Verse 3, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman set upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, going into the 7 heads, what is that? Germania Major, Germania Minor. You have the Greeks, the Romans. Okay, then you have the French, the Spanish, and the British, right? And the 10 horns represents what? That's the EU. Okay, verse 4 says, and which is basically what? The Edomite rulerships. Okay, verse 4 it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornications. See, and that woman, okay, being arrayed in purple, that's just the costliness, right? The wealth, okay, of Babylon the Great, okay, and the abomination, the filthiness, okay, that's basically what, just that do as I will spirit, okay, that is pushed here in America, Babylon the Great, okay, and then what, they go and push it to these nations. Here's the point that I wanted though, says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. See, and again, this is talking about America. See, and this is where the prophets have been raised up in. Okay, I'm going to jump down to verse 18. Look, this is going to prove it's America. Look, and the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, what nation rules over all these other nations? Okay, if you're just honest, if you're just being honest, okay, what nation is ruling? Okay, now that's America. Now, you know, the tide's turning, right? America's losing its power. Okay, that's you know, that's obvious. Okay, but what nation has ruled? Okay, America. Okay, and again, it's that great city. I'm gonna go down. Let me go to Revelation 11 and 8. Look, it says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. See, that great city is Babylon. Say, this is Babylon the Great. And the dead bodies represents what? That's a dead state of Israelites. Okay, being in that dead mindset. Okay, not knowing who we were as a people. Look, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. Sodom, why? Because of all the alphabet people. Okay, that's and you know that's, man, that's just that's gross. You know, that's nasty. Okay, that's obvious of you know what that is. Look, and Egypt, why? Because Egypt represents bondage. You know, because right now we're still in captivity to this day. Look, we're also our Lord was crucified. Okay, because why? Because the Lord was X'd out here in America. Okay, given the image of a so-called white man. Okay, and also what, taking away the narrative of who he died for. Okay, and who he's coming back for. Okay, this was all done through what? Through their fornications. Okay, through their wines, through their philosophies. Okay, their do as I will spirit. All that is just abomination. Okay, that's X'd out the Lord. All right. Okay, verse 9 says, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. So that's roughly what? That 350 years where we didn't know who we were as a people. Okay, we were lost from about the time of about 1619 to about 1969, 1970. It says, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. Why? Because they didn't give us rest as a people. They didn't tell us who we were. Okay, we went into our graves, okay, not knowing who we were, thinking we were black, thinking we were Mexican, Puerto Rican, so on and so forth. Okay, Native American. No, when the whole time they knew who we were as a people. Why? Because according to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, they conspired against us, making crafty counsel, okay, to take away our name. Okay, and they did that for a period of time. But look, verse 10, it says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. See, and they remember the time when they were under subjection, okay, during the time of the so-called Dark Ages, and then also during the time of when King David and King Solomon, okay, where we had a rulership, okay, those 40 years of peace under King Solomon. Okay, all these devils, all these other heathen nations, they were under subjection. But what? They made merry. Okay, they were sending gifts to one another, meaning as slaves. Okay, we were the gifts. Okay, again, you so-called Negro, so-called Hispanic, and you so-called Native American. Okay, they rejoiced over having us in that downtrodden condition. All right, verse 11 says, and after 3 days and a half, see that 350 years, said the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. A great fear fell upon them which saw them. See, and right now they're scared. Why? Because they see that the Israelites are waking up. Okay, they're seeing it. Okay, and great fear has come upon them. Okay, so now what, they're weird in their counsels. Okay, they're trying to figure out how to put us back to sleep. Okay, that's why they set up people like Vocab Malone. Okay, Dr. Michael Brown. Okay, and another Christian phonies. Okay. They set these people up. They're set up, okay, to try to put our people back to sleep. Okay, but the scripture says what? That the elect, they're not going to go back to sleep. Okay, the elect are not going to be fooled by these devils. Why? Because the scripture says what? If it were possible, okay, it would deceive the very elect. Okay, but that's not possible. Why? Because again, you have the Israelites waking up. Okay, those dry bones. Okay, let's go to the book of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. We're gonna start off at the top. Okay, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I'm gonna jump a little bit just to get to the point. Okay, as far as getting down to the 12 tribe sign, that these devils, they're trying to make it like it's not a valid. Okay, but it is. Okay, this is very important to the ministry. Okay, of understanding who we are as a people. Okay, and it's just a rough draft, okay, of where Israelites have been scattered, okay? Because again, we know, we already read, okay, that Israel is going to be delivered, okay, from the four winds of the earth, okay. But again, we started off with what? That Babylon the Great, okay, Babylon was where the biggest deliverance was going to come from. Look, Ezekiel 37:1, it says, the hand of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which is full of bones. See, in that valley, you go back to Psalm the 23rd chapter, the valley of the shadow of death. That's talking about here, America. Okay, the full of bones, talking about Israelites. Okay, in that dead state. Okay, we just read in the book of Revelation that their dead body shall lie in that great city. Okay, this is what this is talking about. Look, verse 2, it says, and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. See, in the valley, what? It's a low place, right? So, AK America fits that perfect. Low morals, okay. Israelites being in that low condition, okay, and again very dry, okay. Again having no sort of living water, okay, not having this truth. Look, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, power, thou knowest. See, because man, everything's Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Okay, he's the director of all things. This is his movie. Look, verse 4, and again he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. See, and see, Ezekiel represents what? The prophets of today. Why? Because as prophets, okay, we're out on the highways and byways, okay, out on various platforms, okay, bringing out this truth, okay, and this was what Ezekiel was doing, okay, he was prophesying to these dry bones, okay, as we are today, okay, but the Lord is having mercy, okay, upon the hopeful elect, waking up those that he wants to give the eye salve to, okay, to understand this truth. Look, verse 5, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, power unto these bones. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Verse 6, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai. See that? But I'm going to jump down here to verse 9. It says, Then he said unto me, said, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus said the Lord power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe unto these slain, says that they may live. Why? Because, I didn't read the, the 7th and 8th verse, but that was basically going into what Israelites understanding, okay, basically who they are as a people, okay, and then also what, you had movements, you had the Black Panthers, the Brown Berets, okay, you had man like what, Malcolm X, you had also Martin Luther King, okay, which, I mean, they were set up, okay, a lot of those were set up, but you had these movements, you had what, the North American Indian movement, okay, because why? They knew that there was something wrong, okay, that there was oppression was going on, okay, by, from the so-called white man, okay, but it wasn't the time, okay, that wasn't the time yet, for the full breath, the full truth, okay, to be put upon, upon men, okay, now, we're in a time now, okay, coming from when, from probably, when Abba Bivens came on the scene, okay, which is Elijah the prophet. Okay, until now, but it's growing. Why? Because you had to have the internet had to come around, right? What the internet had to come about, okay, to push this truth even more. So right now we're living in that time. We've been living in that time. Okay, you have men waking up. Okay, you have the breath coming into men. Okay, why? So men could live. Okay, and when I say men, I mean women and children as well. Okay, but what the prophets, they're men. Right? Verse 10, it says, so I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. See? And then we just read that in the Revelation 11 chapter, that fear fell upon them that saw them. Yeah, why? Because it's a great army. So look, verse 11, then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. See? But that begins with the elect. Because we know that only the elect is going to get the 100% truth right at this time. Okay? Only the elect's going to be delivered. Okay? It says, our bones are dried. So let me read that again. It says, then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Why? Because Israel's a scattered people, right? Verse 12, it says, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus said the Lord power, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. See, and ultimately that's what we're waiting for, but to come out of our graves, come out of what? In that dead mindset. That mindset of being in the congregation of the dead, okay, knowing who we are as a people, okay? Verse 13, and you shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. Verse 14, it says, and I shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live. See, and that's the whole full elect right now, okay? And I shall place you in your own land. It says, then ye shall know that I, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, has spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai. See, and that's ultimately that's going to happen during the time when we get delivered. Okay, once the land of Israel is cleansed, okay, through that fire, through that destruction, okay, and being New Jerusalem comes down, okay, from heaven. Okay, and then, Lord willing, we make it in that first go round, okay, and get to go home. But right here it says, verse 15, it says, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai, came again unto me, saying, verse 16, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Okay, so that's all the tribes. It says, then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, so the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Okay, so this is going into what having all the tribes, okay, all together, right? Upon that stick, you go into that word stick. It means a plank, okay, a board, okay. But right now, what do you see? You see all the 12 tribes, okay, written upon cardboard or a wooden plank. Verse 17, it says, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou now show us what these meanest by these? See, and that's the whole point of having those signs, okay, during camp sessions. Why? So people can come and acquire, okay, make dialogue, okay, what does this mean? All right. Verse 19, it says, say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the 10 tribes of Israel, his fellows, and I will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. See? And that's all the tribes together. See, that's why you're seeing it. Why? Because the Lord said, I'm going to close up the breaches. Okay, let's get that real quick. Then I'll come back and I'll finish reading this. What's that? Amos 9 and 11. And it says, in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. See, and that's what's happening, closing up the breaches. Okay, the animosity, the hatred, between the tribes. Okay, the Lord says he's gonna close up those breaches, meaning he's bringing it together. Okay, that's why you see, so-called Negroes with so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called Negroes with so-called, Mexicans, so on and so forth. Get them all together. Why? Because the Lord is closing up the breaches thereof. All right, let's go back to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, verse 20. Salakia says, and the sticks thereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. So be in whose eyes? Again, those that are come up to the camp and acquire. They inquire, what do you mean by these? Okay, I see myself on the sign. What does that mean? Okay, that's just a dialogue. Okay, and again, that those when you see so-called Negroes, so-called Negroes, Judah, all the way down to it says, so-called Mexicans, Issachar. That doesn't mean that just because it says they're in that land doesn't mean that that everybody from that land is an Israelite. Doesn't mean that. Okay, again, it's just a rough draft. Okay, just to again to bring up dialogue. Okay, because we know that Israelites, okay, are going to come looking like anybody and everybody. Why? Because Israel's a scattered people. Okay, but here's verse 21. It says, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. See that? Israel is going to be gathered from everywhere. Okay, but again, we started off with what? Micah 4 and 10, the great deliverance, the biggest deliverance is going to come out of Babylon. Okay, aka America. Verse 22, it says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. Saying that's talking about King David, but we know he's going to be under what? Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Okay, there's going to be a righteous order. Okay, and then the man on down says, and they shall be no more two nations. Okay, why? Because the nations are split. During when the time of Solomon, okay, when he went off, okay, the kingdoms were ripped out of his hands, right? Okay, and it says, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. See, and that's what those charts, the signs. Okay, that's what it represents. It represents the bringing together, okay, of all the tribes. Okay, and again, that's just a rough draft, okay, of where Israel has been scattered. Okay, but we know that it doesn't matter what the sign says as far as like if it says Issachar Mexicans, that doesn't mean that everybody in Mexico was Issachar. Okay, that's just an example. It's just an example of the Israelites where they went to. Okay, but again, they could be anywhere. Like I made the example earlier. The military. You have men that went and served. Wherever they served at. Okay, laid seed upon a woman. Okay, that's not an Israelite. Okay, that child is an Israelite. Okay, then that child went somewhere else, laid seed somewhere else. That child's an Israelite. Okay, that's all it means. Okay, it's just that you stupid Christians, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. But again, the biggest deliverance is going to come from the Northland. All right, let's get a couple of scriptures. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, and verse 18. And it says, in those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. See, all the tribes. And they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for inheritance unto your fathers. See? And again, we know Israel's going to come out of everywhere. Okay, out of from the four winds. Okay, but again, the biggest deliverance is going to come from the land of the north. Okay, let's go to the book of, let's stay in Jeremiah. But let's go to the 23rd chapter. Let's start off in verse 5. And it says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai, that I will raise into David a righteous branch. Speaking of who? Yahweh Shai. It says, and a king shall prosper, reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. See, and that has not happening yet. Okay, that's one way we know. Okay, that the people that are in the land now, the Amalekites that claim that they're the Jews. Okay, they're not the people. Okay, there's not judgment and justice on the earth. Okay, it's all wickedness over there. Look, verse 6. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. Those people are not dwelling safely. Okay, they're always in the midst of war. Look, it says, and this is his name whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness, which is just a title. But here's the point that I want to look. Verse 7, it says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai, that they shall no more say, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Okay, but the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. Okay, again, A.K. America, Babylon the Great. And look, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. See, not only is the Lord going to deliver, okay, the main deliverance is going to be out of the north, okay, Babylon the Great, A.K. America, says, but from all countries. You see that? Why? Again, because Israel is a scattered people. All right, let's stay here in Jeremiah. Let's go to the 16th chapter, and let's go to the 14th verse, and it says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai, that it shall no more be said, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. See, it's the same thing we read in the 23rd chapter, meaning what? That there's going to be a greater deliverance, more than what how great and marvelous that deliverance out of Egypt with the the waters being split. Okay, that was such a marvelous deliverance. This is going to be even more marvelous. Why? Because it's going to be chariots. There's going to be missiles. There's going to be destruction. Okay, it's going to be greater than that. Okay, look, it says, but the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. It says, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. See, and again, that's what we're waiting for. But this deliverance is going to outshine, okay, the deliverance out of ancient Egypt. Okay, out of the hands of the Pharaoh. Okay, that has not happened. This is future prophecy. So this is to all these Christians, Vocab Malone, Dr. Michael Brown, whoever. Okay, when did this happen? When did a bigger deliverance, okay, out of the land of Egypt, okay, which right now we're in spiritual Egypt. Okay, we just read that in Revelation, the 11th chapter, right? So when did a bigger deliverance happen, okay, that outshine that deliverance of from the hands of Pharaoh? It has not happened, okay? It has not happened. Okay, and that's where you people, you Christians, you err not knowing the scriptures. You err not understanding. But you know what? You're not supposed to understand. Let's go to the book of got a couple more that I'm gonna close out. The point's been made. Okay, the importance of having the 12 tribes sign or chart or whatever they whatever they called it. We call it a 12 tribe sign. Okay, it's important. But it's not an end all be all. Okay, not every nation is going to be represented on that chart. Okay, but we know, okay, that every nation, okay, because has Israelites. We know that the elect are going to come out of everywhere. Okay, we know that. Look, this is Zechariah 2 and verse 6, and it says, "Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds, say of the heaven, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai." See that? It says, come flee out of the land of the north. Why? Because again, the biggest deliverance is going to come out of Babylon. Okay, aka America. See, that's why you have the sign, okay, with mainly, okay, the land, okay, of North America and South America, or the lands of North America and South America represented. Okay, that's why, because the biggest deliverance is going to come out from the land of the north, the Western Hemisphere. But we just read here, but I have spread you through the four winds. Look, verse 7, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Okay, and what's that? It's talking about Babylon the Great. Okay, aka America. Okay, we just read that. Okay, in Revelation the 17th chapter. Okay, this is Babylon the Great. Right, let's get a couple more. All right, let's go to the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10. And it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. See, that's where you guys make your mistake. You Christians trying to count Israel. You can't count them. Okay? Which cannot be measured nor numbered. You hear that? It says, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people. See, and that's what these devils are saying. That we're not the people. We can't be the people. No, not them people. They're black. They're brown. You fucking devils. It says, and in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. You hear that vocab and you damn devils? Look, verse 11, it says, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together. Okay, see that? Be gathered together. All 12 tribes. Look, and appoint themselves one head, and there shall come up out of the land, okay, the land of the north. It says, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Okay, and Jezreel just another name for Israel, right? But it says, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together. Why? Because they were oppressed together. That's why the Lord has it. That's why the sign, okay, is representing these lands. Why? Because this is where Israel was going to be oppressed together. Let's get that. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. And it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Okay, when did that happen? Okay, during the Babylonian captivity, it was the southern kingdom, right? Okay, during the Assyrian captivity, it was a northern kingdom. Okay, the kingdoms were not together, even though you might have had some, sprinkled amongst each other. Okay, we know that happened. Okay, but this is where, here in Babylon, aka America, okay, and the receipts are there. You devils oppressed us as a people, slaughtered the Native Americans, slaughtered the Hispanic people, okay, and then slaughtered the so-called Negroes. You damn devils, you're gonna have to pay for what you did. You're trying to run from your judgment. You cannot run from your judgment. Look, it says, and took them captives held them fast, they refused to let them go. Okay? You didn't tell us who we were as a people when you knew the whole time. Okay, but what? The Lord is having mercy upon us. Why? Because he's going to deliver us. And Lord willing, we make it on that first go round. Okay? That's why you have Israelite men waking up. You have Israelite women waking up. Okay? You have Israelite children waking up. Okay? And then you have the prophets that have been raised up in Babylon, what? To bring out these truths. Verse 34, it says, the Redeemer is strong. The Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua of hosts is his name. It says, he shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. See, and that's what's coming to you damn devils. Destruction, death. Okay? And then you're going to go into captivity, and then you're going to be eradicated. Now we know the other heathen nations, they're going to get to come back. Okay, into their lands, but they're going to have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. They're going to be judged according to the law. Okay, and that's it. That's all there's to it. Okay, you devils did it. Okay, now you devils got to pay. Okay, your judgment is coming. Okay, I'm going to get one more, then I'm going to close out. But you devils, you're carnal. You don't understand. You're just never going to get it. Okay, let's go to the book of Romans. See, we don't need no damn DNA test. We don't need Ancestry.com to prove who we are as a people. We have the Spirit. We have the Spirit of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8, and verse 16, and I'm going to close out. The point's been made. You the devils, okay, we the people of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, and that's all there's to it. Look. Romans 8 and 16 is the Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit. Okay, we don't need no damn DNA test. It says that we are the children of the Most High. All right? All right, with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, from which he learned his truth. Peace and blessings to the house of David, doing his work in all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.